Games, Brains A Head-Banging Life here with a track by track, and we are going to the debut studio album of the glam rockers, The Darkness. It is Permission to Land, released in the UK on the 7th of July 2003, in the United States in September 2003. Again, this has come up in like when we and Brendan done track by tracks, but like, how back then did they think they could fight piracy? When you would release an album in one area months. So that came out in July 2003 in the UK, then September in the US.
Yeah.
That, like,
yeah.
How on earth are you expecting to fight pirate? Like, just, I know it's more of a done thing now where everything just gets released worldwide, but back then, what we were stupid, like, how stupid is that? 2 months. So if you're, you know what I mean, you're American and you want to hear that album, and you know, you just go to his bloody goddamn LimeWire or some shit, you know?
All these English people put it online,
Yeah, absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. So yeah, this is the debut of The Darkness. Very, very successful album. Crazily successful. There were quite a bit of a bright sparks at one stage, seen as a bright spark. I'm going to be honest, never understood why. Never understood why. I've never listened to this album fully. I'd only heard the odd song in it.
Same here.
And one of them, in particular, that was their big hit, I did not like. I didn't enjoy.
I know what you mean.
And that was a real problem for me. So I never got into them. I turned a corner with actually later songs off later albums, and then they would, of course, release the greatest Christmas song ever. Well, I kind of stepped back and understood what The Darkness were. Now, like going off their latest album and stuff like that, now when I listen to The Darkness, I can enjoy it a little bit more than I used to. You know, this came out in 2003, so I would have been 18, 19 years old. This was not something I was particularly going to be into. I don't think it was for me.
Yeah.
You know? But happily, it's quite a short album as well. Not too many tracks. It's got 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tracks. And like I said, a lot of them never heard before. Never even heard.
Yeah, same here. So I think when I listened back, I think there were songs that I might have heard glimpses of, but I never listened to the whole album.
If it wasn't a single, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Because I definitely never listened to this album.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So, we start off with Black Shuck. And this is a good start for me. This is, if you ask me to describe The Darkness' sound to you, I'd probably use this song now as the example. It's fun, energetic, easy to dance to, easy to rock to. It's rock and roll energy mixed with glam. It's fun, it's catchy, it's energetic.
Yeah, so I think it's straight in dirty rock and roll. It's a great taste of like his vocals, because again, that's a kind of a splitting fit factor for quite a lot of people. And great riff midway through and fun start. It's like sometimes people go, oh, they're just his vocals. It's like, no, they can actually play really well. So it's a great for all rounder.
Yeah, I think this is one that I didn't really remember, and I was like, okay, this is actually probably going to be up there as one of my more liked Darkness songs going forward. Not so liked, though, is Get Your Hands Off My Woman. I am not a fan of this. I think actually Justin Hawkins' voice is actually quite irritating here. He reaches ear-splitting levels, and I can see why that pisses people off. Because if there's a track that overdoes it, it's here. And the riffs are so fucking bland. It's just such a And after Black Shuck, it's such a downer, man. It's such a well, that's disappointing.
Oh, so I enjoyed listening to this one again.
Okay.
I really enjoyed singing along. I thought it was quite a fun, silly track. But yeah, and it's not the strongest track, but I still enjoyed it.
Okay.
So.
All right. Back up with this one, Growing on Me. I really like this. Leans into the kind of power rock vibe that I prefer of The Darkness. Less of their glam rock and more the power rock stuff that they're really, really good at. A more subtle vocal performance as well from Justin Dawkins. Very softly sung at stages. It's got a very catchy chorus, foot-tapping riffs. This is a good one.
I thought it's a really nice song. I really enjoy it. It makes me smile. Simple but done well.
Yeah.
I think he's like... Sometimes people do too much and it just sounds awful, but no, this is what we are, a rock and roll band, and I enjoyed it.
Cool. I believe in a thing called love. Obviously, this is their arguably now I'd say their second most famous track behind Christmas Time. This was the one I referenced at the start. That was it was overplayed. Like you couldn't turn over a channel back in the day without running into this track, which obviously had a massive effect anyway. But I just don't like it. I really just don't like it. I find it irritating. I find the groove not particularly catchy, just kind of ooh, get off me, you know.
really
I just don't like this track. I don't particularly find anything. There's nothing, particularly when at this point I've already heard Black Shuck and Growing on Me, the 2 tracks that I do think are good. I got to this and I was like, I was on my phone and it's playing. I'm like, well, don't skip it. You know it, but don't skip it and hear it. And by the end I was like, nope, I was right the first time.
I really enjoy it.
That's crazy.
I still really enjoy it. So, if it makes me feel like they enjoy what they do, I don't know. It just comes across in that song like they enjoy what they're doing.
You think this is? I get the opposite. I think this is one of the most insincere songs where it was like, yeah, we need to write a song and have a song that's gonna get massive radio play, and so it's just love, and we're gonna, you know, and that's an important thing. You know, I don't get that at all. No. Then we get to a track that, while is pretty famous of theirs, famous, right? So the best context I could always use for this track, right? And we've used this context a couple of times. There are many tracks I could play, and it's my sisters. I have sisters, and my sisters are your average, like what you hear in the radio.
On the charts.
On the charts, never listen to an album, only 1 tracks, and so on. And I always say, like, it was you know, if you played a track off an album that they would like, if they would like it, it's a warning sign for me.
Yeah.
This is a track that they would love, if they don't already and know of it. Love is only a feeling. Now, here's the thing, though. I get it. It's sweet. It's catchy. It is very... It will take a stone cold bastard to not hear this track and at least smile.
Yeah.
Because even if it's the riff,
Yeah.
you know? However... it's just too repetitive for me to really enjoy. It's very verse chorus, very straightforward, you know.
Oh really?
But it's saving grace generally the guitars.
Yeah.
Well,
the video is amazing.
No, the video was fuck off. The video was just
slash on top.
This video is every goddamn epic. That had to have been a joke. That was a Slash walking out of the church.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I still went. I just thought it was fun. It's my favourite track on the album.
It's your favourite track?
Yeah.
No way, that isn't. Oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me.
Yep.
Thing is, I don't dislike it. I'm just saying, to me, it's so box ticky that it's like, it's amazing that this wasn't the bigger hit over I Believe in a Thing Called Love. Like, it really should have been. Yeah. It really should have been, because I think it's got way more mass appeal in that sense. But to me, it's just too repetitive for me to really enjoy, even though I'm like, shit, it is very sweet, and those guitars are excellent. And you know, I do like the build up at the end. You know, anyway, you know, I can't knock it. I'm not knocking it. This isn't a dislike. I'm saying, like I said, I'm saying, I think you'd have to have something wrong with you if you were like, no, it's fucking terrible, that song, I hate it. You know, unless like you connect that song to a traumatic event in your life. You know, I can't really see why you wouldn't be like, oh, it's nice. But it has flaws, and that's my flaws. Yeah. Given Up. I like this one. Retro rock vibes, groovy, sexy.
Yeah, I put very darkness.
Yep.
So that sounded sort of like brash rock and roll. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yep. Yeah. Stuck in a Rut. I found this tepid at best. Easily forgettable, easily skippable.
I like the introduction. I felt like a bit darker at the beginning. Slightly darker sounding, if that's the right word. I couldn't think of the word.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the guitars and drums, and I like the energy of it.
Okay.
So.
I find it boring. Boring. Friday Night. Now, I find like overall the latter part of this album is less exciting than the first half. You can see why a lot of the hits came from the first part of it. But this is a track that was one of the highlights. I like the different levels and Justin's vocals here. It's a bit more subtle. I like this track.
Yeah, I said there's a charm to it. So it's a little bit different, a little bit slower, and I liked it. I like some of the backing vocals as well. Which is cool. Different part to it. Yeah.
Then we get to penultimate track, Love on the Rocks with No Ice. Ha ha ha. I find this drags, man. This drags on. While it's got meteor riffs, a little, certainly harder rock riffs in it. It's and they're welcome because it's a little variation on the overall sound. Boring. This one, yeah.
I like this one.
Nope.
I really disagree. Yeah, I thought heavier riffs than previous track. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then we end with Holding My Own. It's a nice enough finish. The guitars are the highlight. It's got an earwormy tone. Yeah, this is a nice enough finish.
Yeah, so a really nice ending. Slower track. I quite enjoyed that. End of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, happily, it's 10 tracks long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's one of the certainly benefits is it's done in a very, very succinct amount of time. And I do think the highlights certainly outrank the lowlights. I think even my complaint ones, they're like, well, I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to them again. But if they're on again, if they came on, I wouldn't be... I don't think there was anything terrible. Yeah. I think at best there was some boring tracks, some stuff that I was just like, you know? But there was some great stuff on this. And yeah, I do think The Darkness would do better later in their career than this album. But I can see why there were some big hitters on this. Yeah. Right.
Top three?
Yep.
I went for Love Is Only a Feeling, Growing on Me, and Love on the Rocks with No Ice.
That's, well, yeah, quite different, really. Black Shuck, Growing on Me, and Giving Up are my three. Absolutely. Yeah, easy choice, really. They were the three favourite for me. There you go, Darkness, The Darkness, Permission to Land. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?